Now, before we jump to that topic, I want to jump to a superhero topic. I feel like this is also blown up right now. No. This is blown up on the internet, on TikTok, and this is unrelated to the New York situation. This is relating the new Iron Man series on what's it called? Disney Plus.
Ironheart.
Yeah, with Ironheart. Yeah. So right now there is a debate online, and it comes down to a simple question. Would Iron Man be Iron Man if he wasn't a millionaire?
In reality, no.
Yeah. No. Hear me out, bro.
No, I think he would. I think he would.
You think he would?
I think he would. His suit's gonna be real shitty until he gets his bread up. But then after that, he's gonna go crazy.
Iron Man, he was in the cage.
He's a fake fan. He doesn't know that.
Here's the problem.
I feel like he could not have been a millionaire. He's still a genius.
Yeah.
Like, you see what he did in the cage. You see what he did in the
cage. You saw after he made the suit, he noticed that he can't go up in the sky. He freezes up, and then he fixed that.
Okay.
He would just keep fixing shit and make it,
He's a
and then
genius.
eventually you get the Hulk Buster.
Now let's take a pause real quick. So what's the camp right now? All of you agree that he would still be Iron Man without being a millionaire?
I think he'll be a shitty version until he gets his bread up.
He'd be like the Hood's Iron Man.
Yeah.
Real shit.
But like he wouldn't.
Like broken down car parts.
He wouldn't be fighting aliens, but he'll be like cleaning up the neighborhood and shit. Like no thugs.
Beating up like drug keep shit.
But then he gonna come up because he gonna beat up a thug, take all the tech, and then make a better suit.
If you think about it, he'd probably be like Ant-Man. Ant-Man broke his shit. He got a suit.
Spitting. You are spitting.
But it was gifted to him though.
Exactly.
The suit.
He ain't paying no bread for that.
But that was complete luck. Absolute luck. That's complete absolute luck. Now, here's my argument. I actually agree with Disney on this one. They actually got this right. Iron Man would not be Iron Man had it not been for the money. Let's wind it back to that cave. Why did he get captured in the first place? Let's break that back down.
Because his family were weapons manufacturers.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but I mean, regardless.
Had they not been manufacturing weapons, if his dad was not the head of Stark Industries, he would never been in that situation to begin with.
Well, I mean,
But he still would have been a genius. Like,
he still would have been.
And I'll explain that in a little bit. But just off the bat, that would wipe away that entire storyline. That storyline would have never happened to begin with in his entire life. And that progressed him to become Iron Man because it's in that cave that he goes, shit, I'm going to build a suit to get the fuck out of here. He had to...
Nah, but I don't think he just came up with that out of nowhere. Like,
he did. That was the entire point.
No, he's just like a smart nigga. Like, he knows about building shits and all that.
He
knows
figured he
about...
only had to build a weapon that only he could use to get out of there. What's the only
Do you
way
think-
to build a weapon like that? Put it around yourself.
Okay.
Like, I don't think he did that out the spot like, oh, I'm going to just build a suit.
He probably would have still. He probably would have still got into college.
Yeah.
Still would have went into
Bro, he was
design and
MIT,
shit.
bro.
Yeah.
Now, again, you guys are basing this off of the fact that he was a millionaire.
But
This is a
regardless-
situation we're not now.
Hold on.
This
We're
is
talking about him not
intelligent.
being a millionaire.
But it's
If
facts.
dad never made the Stark Industries,
Okay,
yeah.
listen, it's facts known that he got a scholarship to go to MIT. His
Okay.
dad didn't pay for that. He was done with school by
I think-
18.
again, you guys are
But
Basic-
regardless of his dad not being that,
Uh-huh.
he's still born with that. Like,
He's still
it's like-
smart.
He's still
He's so
smart.
smart.
And here's my argument on that. Even if you are smart, that does not necessarily mean that you're going to achieve the maximum performance that you can in your life. That does not mean that.
Of course not.
Yeah.
It doesn't. No,
It wouldn't be
so
the
many
same.
variables go into that. But regardless of that, that is in his brain. That's what happened. You know how like people create shit eventually? It's because you were meant to do that shit, bro.
But bro,
That's just
listen
the
to
fact
this.
they had someone.
At the end of the day,
He
wait.
didn't have the timeline that made him into
At the
Tony
end of
Stark.
the day, all you need to be Iron Man is a suit. He could have easily made a suit if
My
he's
point,
smart enough.
exactly.
And
Again,
that's all
It
you
had
need to be Iron
But
Man.
it didn't happen.
How would he have made the
Spider-Man-
suit? Stark
Spider-Man-
Industries never existed.
But-
He doesn't.
have to
If
be-
you go to MIT, you can learn how to make
He
shit.
had access to fucking weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, but look at
He
Iron
had that at MIT.
Bro, you
Iron
can
Man-
make a gun on a 3D printer. He could have done the same shit.
That wasn't even the timeline yet. We
Shut
just
the
made
fuck
that.
up.
What the
He's
fuck?
smart enough to do that shit.
We just made that in this timeline.
Now he going by time.
That would have never existed.
The whole thing's a
Regardless of
hypothetical.
him becoming a superhero that early in his life because of that event, he still became a superhero, bro.
I don't believe that. And I'll give you.
There are other canon universes where he becomes Iron Man regardless of his parents being killed by, but regardless of him not being a millionaire. Have you ever heard the Demon of the Bob story cut? He was a drunk and he just became Iron Man. That's insane.
Alright, can I give you a real world example of who could have been Iron Man had they had a little bit of money?
Elon Musk.
No. Hell no.
From the jump.
What the fuck?
From the jump.
Alright, so in ancient Greece, there's this Greek philosopher by the name of Diogenes. This is a man who was just poor, lived inside of a vase in the streets of Rome. But every person that met him, and we're talking like all of the philosophers, I think Julius Caesar also met this guy in the middle of the streets. They knew that this guy was just the smartest man in all of fucking Rome. Like, they just knew it. But again, he never had the upbringing of being a millionaire, being wealthy. He could have been easily the emperor of Rome if he really needed to.
Okay.
But he decided to live in the vase in the streets of fucking Rome. That's insane!
Yeah.
Money changes you. It gives you a different perspective, a different timeline. Had he not had that, he probably would have still been great, but just not Iron Man.
But
I think you're confusing money with motivation.
Yes.
Okay.
You're confusing.
Not having any motivation to do anything with that intelligence. As to
What motive would he have? He's in the hood.
I think
What motive would he have?
You think of ways to
What's-
get out of
what's-
it. Are you crazy?
Tell him.
What is his motivation to
He
go
don't
save
know
the
about
world?
the church's bubble. He don't know
What
about
is his
that.
motivation to go save the
like
world?
Noble said, though.
He don't care about
He didn't see war yet. He would have never seen
But
war.
that has nothing to do. Look, creating the armor itself has nothing to do with saving the world or even what it symbolizes. The armor would have still been made, my brother. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I don't think that. I don't
Whether
think
that
it
would have been for him or for the U.S. government to be sold or as a school project at MIT. That shit was gonna get built regardless, bro. He was meant to build it, and once he had the tools around him to do it, he was gonna do it regardless.
I personally don't think that without that money, the timeline would have never propelled him to create the suit. There was events that led up to that creation. That's the entire storyline. It's this redemption arc of I was doing really bad things before. I realized what I was doing wrong.
He didn't
and
know
I tried.
he was doing bad things. The whole thing. See, that's how I know you're a fake fan,
What
bro.
the fuck?
He didn't even know that they were double dipping, selling the weapons to the terrorists.
But he realized that while he was in the cave.
And then that's when he locked in.
But that's when the redemption arc starts. He wouldn't have a need for the redemption arc if it wasn't for that. There's no motive.
Regardless of it all, he was building the energy source to power that. Why are you building such a strong energy?
And again, he could have still developed that technology, but I don't think he would have been inspired to make the suit based off of that technology.
What?
There's no motive.
Look, I'm gonna give you an example. He built that nanotechnology that the suit builds on its own around you, right? So that was when he started mentoring Peter and shit. Right? He could have done that shit the same way.
Okay.
Build nanotechnology to protect you in
I'm
a
not saying that he could have
manner. So we're building a suit regardless. It's nanotechnology, regardless of the timeline, because of the technology that he
So you guys think that he just might have built it later on?
Yes. Later on. Or even earlier before. Just like a project or something, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
But what's his motive to be a superhero? Why
is
is
he
he a
nothing to
superhero?
do with being a superhero? You're saying Iron Man wouldn't be Iron Man without that.
Without the circumstances of Iron Man.
He would still made the suit. And like you said, redemption, right? The heart, that's what made you do that shit, right? He would have still had the heart to be like, damn, I fucked up, I shouldn't have sold that. Or damn, I fucked up, I should have never given this project away. It's too strong. Come on, bro. Everybody regrets that shit. He would definitely been Iron Man after that shit.
All right, I say we agree to disagree on this one, right?
This is a debate.
And tell the audience we don't need an Iron Man. We need more electricians, plumbers. We need useful people out there. All right.